Some of the shots in the movie were just visually on point. I still find the character very unlikable. Heath Ledger's Joker was a fucking menace, and I fucking loved him in Dark Knight.
I have never really thought about doing a comic book movie. For me, it was more about this idea of doing a character study, but about somebody people have no idea who, what, where he came from or anything like that. So it kind of came at it that way. It wasn't like, oh, I want to make a Joker movie. It was really came from like, how do you make a great character study and get people to want to see it?
Okay, so this video should have gone along with my very brief impressions of Joker Folie at Deux, that vlog, but unfortunately I have uploaded it already, so it's just going to be its own thing, and this video will be its own thing. So in light of going to see Joker Folie at Deux in the movie theaters, which I quite enjoyed, I've seen a lot of people online who just hated it, and everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but I think in a few years people will really appreciate that movie, because though it was unnecessary because I didn't think there was going to be a sequel to it, I feel like it goes really well. If you think about it, Joker was doing a lot of dancing in the first movie. He sang at the end of the movie, That's Life, so it kind of makes sense that he'll be singing in the second movie, though off key. So I'm not quite sure what the disconnect is for some people, but again, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And this is going to be very unpopular. I feel like a lot of the people who liked the first movie hated the second one. For me, it's the reverse. I didn't like the first one.
All of these less than favorable things happening to Joker, whose name is Arthur, is supposed to make the audience empathize with him. You're supposed to feel sorry for him, but I didn't really. I was having real trouble connecting with the character from the very first scene where he gets beat up, or should I say kicked around by those kids.
But I quite enjoyed the second one. I didn't love it, but I quite enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind going to see it again. That being said, so in light of going to see that movie, I figured I will rewatch Joker and see if I can gain some new insights. And I still don't like the movie, though I have gained a few new insights. I did a review of Joker when it came out, and I rewatched that review, and I seemed to be a little confused as to what was going on. I think in that review I had said that Thomas, who was running for, what was he running for? Governor or mayor of Gotham, please correct me in the comments, was Joker's dad and abandoned him.
Also, I do not think they did a good job casting Joker's supposed father, Thomas, I believe his name was. Dude looked about the same age as Joker.
But that's obviously not what happened. Joker's adopted mom was sick and had lied to him and said that Thomas was his father and that she and Thomas were an item at one point. So I got that cleared up watching it the second time around, and this is actually the first time I've rewatched the movie since I watched it in 2019. So I got some clarifications, and I still find the character very unlikable. Joaquin Phoenix did his thing, like he slayed that character. He did a good job, but the character itself is just very unlikable. And it's so weird because Heath Ledger's Joker was a menace, and I fucking loved him in Dark Knight. But this one, it just feels like a very one-dimensional character. I don't know how else to explain it, because yes, he has a mental illness, and even that, this is going to sound rude, and even that, I didn't feel sorry for him in this movie. I felt more sorry for him in the second movie, so in the sequel, than I did in this first Joker movie. So back to what I was saying, it just feels very one-dimensional, and it also gives the impression that people with mental illness are violent. And I actually agree with Murray. There was a whole lot of self-pity in that little speech he gave before he shot Murray. A lot of the things he was saying were on point, and I agreed with him. Lots of people being rude to each other, Thomas not being able to like envision himself as being in Joker's position. He said a lot of good things, but I feel like it was misplaced. Self-pity and trying to justify killing those people. And yes, a lot of awful things happened to him in the movie, but I don't think everybody in the movie was terrible to him. His coworker, the little one, was nice to him, and he himself had acknowledged it and said, hey, you were the only one who was sweet to me. I'm not gonna hurt you. And then the one guy whom he went to get the file about his mom was nice to him, though he eventually like snatched the file from the guy and ran off. And yes, what Murray did was unkind, but I see a lot of, in real life, you see a lot of late night comedians making fun of celebrities, and you don't see these celebrities going to shoot them. And then people will argue that Joker was bullied because he had a mental illness and he deserved to defend himself. And I totally agree with that. But self-defense by killing somebody else, my point is, yes, if these guys pull out a gun on him and he shot them in self-defense, I'm all about it. But even look at the guy who got out of the train, was limping because Joker has shot him in the leg. This guy is limping and running away from Joker. So how much of a threat is he at this point? He's running away from you and you still kill him. Not justified. And I understand that in this scenario, as a Joker who is mentally ill, that's his only defense. His only defense is to shoot them. So I get that part. But the people who defend that kind of behavior, yes, he deserved to shoot them because they got in his face. I don't think so. So yeah, I'm still not a fan of Joker, though I got some clarity. I'm still not a fan, and I stand by it. But I quite enjoyed the second one. Again, maybe unnecessary, but it makes sense. And I really only went to go see it because Lady Gaga was in it. And I think she did a good job in it. A lot of singing. I'm not much of a musical person, but I think it worked.
I wouldn't necessarily say that this is actually a musical in a lot of ways. It's very different. The way that music is used is to really give the characters a way to express what they need to say, because the scene and just the dialogue is not enough. So like Joaquin said, we did a lot of this live, and in a lot of ways the pianist that was on set with us was sort of like an actor off camera in the scene with us.
Some of the shots in the movie were just visually on point, like the aerial shot with the 4 umbrellas when Joker's being walked from his jail cell to go have his beard shaved. Love that scene. Also, when Joker and Harley Quinn are trying to escape from the mental institution the first time when the fire goes off, I liked that scene. And there's another scene with Joker about to perform in the courtroom, and then the spotlight is just beaming down on him. Oh, that was a beautiful shot. So like visually, they nailed it. So I'll give them an A for that for sure. The singing, I did watch a video with Lady Gaga, and she said she had to unlearn how to sing. And it's quite obvious in this movie because she's not like belting it out. She's trying to be a bad singer.
We worked really hard also on the way that we sang. And for me, it was a lot about kind of unlearning technique and forgetting how to breathe and allowing the song to completely come out of the character. And, you know, like Todd said, you know, he always felt like Arthur had music inside of him. And I think for me, I really wanted to help execute Todd's vision.
Which makes sense because I don't imagine her character is a trained singer. So yeah, she had to be off key on some notes as well as Joaquin Phoenix. So yeah, and I really like how they ended the second movie, this movie, with the same song that they ended the first movie with. So kind of like linking both movies together, the song That's Life. It was the perfect ending to the whole series. Hopefully there's not another movie based off of this one.